Ostomates, welcome back to Ostomy Innovations, where we discuss Crohn's disease, IBS, gastrointestinal issues, and of course, ostomies. My name is Nicole, and today's topic is going to be intimacy and dating with an ostomy. Now, what I kind of came up with is a 4S approach to this topic. And basically, I came up with supportive, secure, safe, and sexual. Getting into it, I want to say that it's going to be a little different whether you have an ostomy currently and are currently in a relationship, or end up with a colostomy or an ostomy while in a relationship, versus having an ostomy and then starting to date. They're going to be kind of different scenarios. If you're in a current relationship and you now have to have an ostomy, your body's changing. And if you're not with someone who is supportive for the first S, then that isn't okay. Because the change that you experience is going to change the image of your body, in a sense. As a matter of fact, 75% of ostomates view themselves as having a lower body image as now having this device on them. And that's not okay, because you're still beautiful, you're still the same person, and it's just not okay if you're in a relationship that you're not supportive by your partner now that you've had to make this change, because this is life-saving in most cases. If you're in a relationship like that, I highly advise therapy, talking about it, and trying to work through it if you can, because it's very important. Because if you are symptomatic, your symptoms are going to increase with the stress of dealing with a relationship that you're not supportive. Your stressors, your emotions are going to increase your symptoms, and it's just not okay. It's not okay. Now, if you are just starting to date and you're someone who has an ostomy, then the biggest question that I see come into existence is, when do I tell this person? Now, later, I don't know. When do I do it? I think, in my opinion, and this is solely my opinion, you are free to do what you want, but the reasons I believe you tell somebody right away, and in right away, it doesn't have to be, hi, I just met you, by the way, I have an ostomy. It could be, hi, you're speaking with that person for quite some time, or then you decide to meet. I think the first meeting is very, very applicable to giving that information, because I just feel like if you've been speaking with somebody for a matter of time and now you're ready to make that next move, which is seeing each other in person, that, in the next month or months or weeks or however long it is, the idea of intimacy can get very real. And this isn't something that you just want to spring on somebody. You want to know right away that you are supported. And just like in that first example of someone who has a colostomy bag and is in a relationship with somebody who's not supportive, you want to find that out right away. You don't want to find it out a month into the relationship that you're not going to be supported by this person. Sometimes people's true colors show later on, unfortunately, and I think it's better to find that out right away. The thing is, you want to feel secure. You want to feel secure knowing that this person is the right person for you. You want to know that the security you're going to get back is going to be not only for your ostomy, but for your disease in itself. So your partner knowing that right offhand is very important. And besides that, you're exposing a part of you that's super private and super intimate, which can seem hard to give that person that information right away. But again, it's just part of you. It's part of who we are. And, the other part is once you do become intimate, surprising that person and stopping dead in your tracks while in intimacy could come off very awkward, so to say. Like, oh, stop here, by the way, because that person's going to have questions, especially if they're supportive and you feel secure with that person enough to get to that level. Then you want to feel safe and you want your partner to feel safe. And neither of you can feel safe if you're not open and honest with each other and open so much to know what that person likes, doesn't like, what hurts them, what doesn't hurt them. Because somebody who doesn't know what an ostomy is, and there's a lot of people who don't. When I explain to people about my business that I make underwear for women with ostomies, people just don't even know. They're like, huh? So it's definitely something that it's going to take some explanation, and you don't want to do it during that intimate moment. It's best to have that conversation well in advance, in my opinion. And for the last S, sexual. Again, you want to be able to communicate with your partner, with your soon-to-be partner, exactly what you like, you don't like, what hurts, what doesn't hurt. If you're going to be intimate with this person, then you're sharing deep, dark, intimate things that every person needs to know ahead of time. So now, tips and tricks. These are some things that I either came up with myself or I've learned when I went to the Ostomy Association conference this summer in Texas. And then these are things that I've learned picking up from some of the speakers there, or things that I've come across myself, like I said. Tips and tricks. Okay, so I think the first part is always making sure, if you're anticipating that this could happen, that you may be intimate, that you're feeling safe, secure, supportive, and sexual, obviously, then think about your appliance. How many days have you been wearing your appliance? Is it time to change it? Because we all know that after we've been wearing this thing for 3-4 days, smells start to kind of creep out a little bit. That's one point to that. The other point is leaks. We don't want to leak during intimacy. That just can never look good, right? Especially on the first occasion with a new partner, right? We definitely don't want that happening. So most importantly, check your bag, check your appliance. If you're anticipating this might happen, definitely do that. The second part is emptying your bag, whether you have a bag that you empty or whether you have a throwaway bag. You want to have as less in as possible, obviously. And with that being said, that kind of ties into eating. We all know that dating is sometimes going out to eat and then ending up doing the thing. So that can happen, right? So maybe opt for some choices of meals that are smaller, take home your leftovers, eat afterwards, that kind of thing. So unfortunately, these are things we have to think about, right? Because we have an ostomy. These are things we do have to think about. It's unfortunate, but this is our life, and this is just part of dealing with what we have. The other part is there's odor drops. I've never used them myself, but I have used the packets. Belts, bands, and intimacy underwear. So there are a lot of belts and bands out there on the market. Now this comes into play of what I do. So when I first got my ostomy in 2015, I started thinking about the underwear and band situation, and I made a design, and Granted, it took me some time to get this off, but I finally developed an intimacy pair of underwear, and basically they are underwear, and this is kind of just a brief description. You can go to my website to find them. I will link that below. But what happens is they undo, okay? And then you will snap them in back. They come up through the back. And snap in place in the back. I know it seems maybe awkward thinking about it, but while you're wearing them, you would do this. You would snap it in back. But it's actually quite easy. And I do know that some people have expressed to me the maybe wanting Velcro. That would be easier. I am in the process of making a pair with Velcro. It's a little different design, but it will nevertheless. But now what you have is a band. And you wear the band around, and you also have an inner pocket that puts the bag in between the skin. Your bag doesn't touch your skin. So basically it's a pair of underwear that open up, and you know, if you're too busy and you're getting it on, you may not have time to snap it in back, which is totally fine. You still have your bag covered up, and you still have that little bit of a protection just to not show your bag. And it's not like it's not as hard as wearing a pair of underwear that don't cover, or having to take off your whole pair of underwear just to do this. It keeps in it. So it's another option. There's a lot of benefits to this set as well. This underwear in general is that it's made from bamboo fabric, which is wicking and antimicrobial. So some of your moisture will be wicked out by the fabric itself. So when things get sweaty, yeah. So that's the product that I am actually bringing to market here very soon. Anyways, so belts, bands, intimacy underwear, yeah, those kind of things just to keep you covered up are definitely a plus. Keeps it out of the way, and not, it's no problem, I think, in my mind, to have it showing, but I would rather it be just totally out of the way. All right, and then smaller bags. I have not seen them, but I have heard that Coloplast has something called a midi, and so they're just smaller bags. I think that probably helps also keep them out of the way. Wouldn't hurt to have, you know, to use a few of each of these odor drops, a belt or a band or intimacy underwear, and a smaller bag, and making sure you've emptied your bag, and making sure you know your appliances, because we also want to feel supportive, secure. We want to feel safe, right? And we want to feel sexual. And if we can feel those things with our partners, hygiene tips, we can also increase that level of feeling good and almost feeling normal. I don't know. Does anybody feel normal? But yeah, I think that these are good things that can definitely help and make you feel more secure and supportive. Below I have a link to my resource page, ostomy related sites and information on there as well. Please also remember, this is like above all else, above odors, feeling safe, feeling supportive, belts, bands, bags, sizes, meals, everything else. The most important thing is, which is another S, keep in mind, 2 S's for that matter, safe sex. So condoms, be proactive. That's the number one thing above all else, especially when you're in a new relationship. So please like my video, please share my video, and please subscribe to my channel. That would be great. I thank you immensely. And have a great day. Stay beautiful.